Hello folks, welcome back to the shed. I hope you're all well. I'm going to do a little bit of a different style of video today. I feel like a camp out in the garden, so I'm going to try and do a sort of chill vlogging style, just as I go video into the evening. Time's currently 7 o'clock, I've just walked the dog, so I'll have to have dinner soon enough. And then after that I'll be out in the garden setting up my sleeping and getting the firebox going to hopefully have a nice chill evening. We've got some decent weather tonight hopefully. I think it's going to rain tomorrow, but it's been pretty wet the last few days, so I'm hoping to go for this little nice evening window of some decent weather to have a little camp out. But given that it's been wet recently, the ground's wet and I anticipate condensation tonight, so I thought I'd go luxury. I thought I'd make myself a little raised bed to get my sleeping stuff up off the floor. So I've scrounged some scrap wood from about the place, and I'm going to try and build that little raised bed first of all before we get to the real camping stuff. But thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoy this different style of video. Let's get into it. This is what I've got, some 4x4 inch posts, and I'm going to put some 2x4s on top of that, so in total I'll be 6 inches raised off the floor. And then I've got 6 boards here, which are all longer than me and longer than my roll mat hopefully. So that should make the main sort of mattressy frame bit of the bed. So we're going to measure everything up, cut out all the components and pre-drill some holes, and then I think I'll take all of the different bits, my driver and the screws home, and then assemble it in the garden. Otherwise for me to carry this down the road is going to be really quite heavy. Now I've put all the boards here side to side next to each other, I can see that they are 23.5 inches wide. So I'm going to cut each of these to 23.5, and I'll also cut 3 4x4 bits to 23.5, and the same for 3 2x4 bits, and then that'll be it done. Oh, apart from cutting all of the boards to the same length. This shortest one is about right, so I'm just going to do that and that and cut them there. Well, that was quite the workout. But we now have a bed frame. and 3 legs to put it on. I've put these other thinner ones on just to make it easy to carry down the road, to be honest, and it all went together pretty easily. Apart from this end one, I had to put a few longer ones in there, but that won't matter. So I've got 3 6-inch legs, 1, 2 and 1 in the middle, and I'm just gonna, it's falling apart, my screws are ripped out. Put that on there, and that'll be me, no doubt, snoring like a baby. So yeah, no doubt my dinner's nearly ready, so I'm going to run this lot down the road, and then I can put it together in the garden later on if I have to. So let's rendezvous with near future Chris just about now. Although thinking about it, I don't think near future Chris will want that left in his bed to puncture his airbed, so I better take that up before I go, although it's been a bit of a pain. Ugh, I'll do that before I go. Well, hopefully I'm learning from the last camping video that I did, because I didn't have enough lights in that one, so you couldn't see much. So I have the light that is on the outside of our shed on, and I also have a torch strapped to the tripod thing that I use to hold the camera, which is shining right into my eyes and blinding me, but hopefully it means that you can see me and everything that we're about to do. When I threw the bed together up at the shed, I just used some little screws to hold the top board together, thinking that would be fine to carry it down here and then bolt it together big time, but then of course those little screws ripped out and it fell apart on me. But no matter, I've since bolted it all together. We're all nice and firm here now, and this is going to make a nice little comfy cot off the floor, keeping me nice and dry on my roll mat in my sleeping bag for tonight. So the plan is, I have my DD hammocks 3x3 meter tarp, and I'm going to set it up in a nice big airy open A-frame configuration, which I'll show you, and then we'll put this underneath with my sleeping stuff, get the firebox rocking. I've got food inside, I've eaten my dinner, but I'm greedy guts, going to bring out some midnight snacks, sit and talk and while the night away, no doubt looking up at some stars, fingers crossed if it's clear. Oh, and I've got a beer as well, and a book. Should be good times. Well, I've got it set up as best I can. I think the top of my head's cut off when I stood up properly, but the main thing is that you can see the ground, because that's where the shelter's going to be. So yeah, DD hammocks 3x3 meter tarp, pegs and guy lines. Got my stainless steel collapsible poles as well, which are going to prop up the front and back. So we'll pop these together, and I would just clap my hands and put the thing up, but I want to talk you through how I'm doing it a little bit, as it is the first time I've shown you me setting up any sort of sleeping shelter, because in the last video, which I've got to say, click here to watch it, I was just flat on the floor with no shelter at all. I just had a ground sheet and my sleeping bag on top of that. So this one, we've got an actual shelter, so I'm going to show you how to set it up. There's a line of tabs running down the centre of the tarp here, and I'm going to put the this one here on that's on the edge. Hooked over a pole like this, and then pull this pole with 2 guy lines coming down either side here, and then the same at the other end. So it's going to be quite fiddly, but it should all hold itself up, hopefully. So I don't know, maybe we'll even put a time lapse on, maybe that'll work. Hopefully you can see everything, but otherwise it's just going to be a lot of rustling of the tarp. But yeah, that's going to be the setup here. 2 poles with the tarp hooked on them as a ridgeline at either end, guy lines holding the poles up, and then obviously both parallel sides of the tarp running down here and down here will be pegged out and give me a nice big triangular prism shaped shelter. And there we go, nice and simple really. Went a lot better than I anticipated actually, a lot easier. It's remarkable how easy the pegs were to push into the ground. Shows we've had some rain recently, so hopefully it's nice and strong, but it made it easy to do it without a mallet. So I've got no rope running from pole to pole as a ridgeline holding the tarp up. All I've got is the tab, hopefully you can see, hopefully there's the tab there of the tarp running around this top peg of the pole, and then on top I've got the 2 guy lines which run down to a nice triangular stance. They're not reflective, they're just showing up white. They're actually black in the camera in the light there. 2 guy lines on each pole making a triangular shape overall. We like triangles, they're lovely and strong. Yeah, loads of room inside tonight. A little bit saggy at the top, but not anticipating loads of rain or wind, so it shouldn't be a problem. And yeah, should be good. Like I say, loads of room. Sorry, I'm knocking the camera. Loads of room inside for my cot, so I'll throw that in there in a minute, get my sleeping stuff set up, and then it's onto the fire. DD hammocks as well, very good brand, I like them a lot. Great tarps, great hammocks, go check them out. I'll put a link in the description, in fact. Okie dokie, got the extremely lightweight firebox system set up out. All we need to start with is 4 pieces of broken paving slab to raise the ashtray off the floor, an enormous aluminium drip tray for catching oil under cars, which we use to catch the ash that falls out of the firebox and stops the ground from getting burnt. The slabs here just to give some airflow to again assist with that cooling and stopping our lawn getting ruined. So pop that on there, like so. Then more slabs to let the ash fall through. Arrange as desired, no specific method there. And then the solid steel X safe with many holes drilled in it, probably weighing all of 3 kilos, no, maybe more like 4, on top. Position so that we've got lots of sketchiness in there so that everything's nice and wobbly and can fall over at a moment's notice. I'm joking, it's secure enough. And again, allowing gap for the ash to fall through. Check that everything's lined up so it's less likely to fall over. And there we go, ready to light up. Get some wood now. For a long time I've watched YouTubers use fat wood to light fires, and I've finally got some, and I can highly recommend it now that I've tried it myself. It looks like this. I've actually got a box of it, a couple of kilos worth, and it actually comes in sticks about yay long. But the good thing about fat wood is that it's essentially wood from the tree stump of a pine tree, so it's full of natural pine resin. Which means that it burns for a really long time. It lights when wet, and you can light it with just like a match flame, and you can light a stick this big on fire. and it will then burn for a long time, which makes it really good for getting fires going. You can make little shavings of it if you're doing bushcrafty stuff, but for here at home I've chopped up mine, or some of it at least, into little pieces that are just a couple of inches long, because otherwise it's just a waste to use a whole stick to start a fire. Because a little bit like this, if I light it, will probably burn for all of 15 minutes probably. Give me loads of time to get my kindling ready, although it's already pre-prepared, and then put it on and get the fire going that way. So it's really convenient and I really like it, highly recommend it. So that's what I'm going to be using tonight to start the fire. Kindling here, get a lighter, which I've left over here. Take a lighter, hold it to this great big stick that I've got in my hand, and oh look, it's on fire. So yeah, I'm just going to pop that just on the bottom of the box there, arrange my kindling with some good airflow, and in no time at all I'll be going. Well, it always is a very satisfying feeling to have things that I've made on the channel coming into use later on. So I'm currently sat on the hazel chair that I made originally on summer camp at Scouts. Took it home when the string that was holding it together before failed, and then in a video which you can watch here, I fixed it together with screws and it's now still going strong. And then more recently, the poker that I made a short of, might be able to put a link to that too, up in the top right hand corner of the screen, and that's going to be very useful for stoking up left fire blocks, which is, as I said, rocking away already. So yes, very pleased about that. I have a very large surplus of wood at the minute, so won't be holding back tonight, he said with a devilish twinkle in his eye. Cheers. Well, I've brought you a bit closer, a bit more cosy, and I have finished filling my face with leftover pasta bake and cake, so might as well start running my mouth again. Having a good time still. I've finished my beer and I got creative, making a little beer can lantern. I knew there was a tea light kicking about somewhere, and I've cut a slit down the middle and then two little bottom bits along there, going careful not to slip and cut my fingers off obviously. But now, if I take my little tea light, we got cozy vibes. Look at that, little lantern, cute. I'll set fire to the grass in a different way. Other things to tell you, I found in the firewood, there's one here, half of the original hammer handle from the last video. Not going to be used anymore, so I suppose thank you very much for all your service, little handle. Think about the amount of nails it must have hammered in and clawed out in its lifetime. Honoured to have ended your service with me. Hopefully the one I made, click there to watch it, is just as good. But on we go. Its last job is to keep me warm. And the third piece of news I have to tell you is that I have an editor. I'm moving up in the world. I don't mean a full-time editor. I mean a good friend of mine, Max, volunteered to edit some videos for me over the summer. So I took him up on it, said I'd send him the raw footage of this video. So no doubt there's been all sorts of comedy cocks drawn on my face and sideways jabs at me as he's been editing, but I don't know if he's done much editing before, but we just said we'd give it a go. So like I say, I'm going to send him over all the raw footage of this and see what he does with it. He's got free reign to make it however he wants, so hopefully he's doing a good job and you're enjoying watching.
And two other things I have to say before I probably turn the camera off and just enjoy the evening before going to bed. First off is the book I'm reading, a bit of a recommendation for you. James Acheson's Knights of the Hawk, 1066, The Bloody Aftermath. You know I like my history. Follows a fictional knight called Tancred in his adventures in England following the Norman conquest. Pretty good plot. Almost wonder if it's a bit young for me. I've had the trilogy quite a while, and I've only just gotten around to reading it, so I almost found the plot a bit predictable, but it's good overall. Some original ideas, I like it. So check that out. It's like I say, there's 3 in the series, this is the last one. Yeah, check that out if you're interested. It's good find so far. And my last topic of conversation is this shirt. If you're into bushcraft in any way and you don't have a wool shirt, then honestly there's something wrong with you. A classic of any bushcrafter, like I say, is a wool shirt. Checkered pattern, of course. Nice wool and synthetic mix to make it a mix of soft and warm. This one in particular is a sort of oversized design, so that it's a sort of overcoat or an outer layer when it's dry but crisp and cold. Just my kind of weather. This one is from a company called Bison Bushcraft, handmade in England, which I'm very pleased about. And I got it for Christmas gone, so 2022 Christmas. Yeah, lovely so far. It's like a comfort blanket, it's really cozy. Great shirt, highly recommend. And yeah, if you're any way into bushcraft and do the kind of thing that I do in the outdoors, highly recommend. Absolutely a must-have. Very nice. The only thing I would say about it, maybe one thing bushcraft could improve on if they're listening, very much doubt it, but if they are, is I had to reinforce all of the buttonholes with my own thread, because there's started to tear out, because I don't know why, but since then, no problems. I mean, it didn't take me long because there's only 7 of them to just whiz around with a bit more cotton and strengthen them up. And yeah, lovely and warm. When it's a sort of crisp, dry autumn morning and you've got maybe, I don't know, 4 layers underneath, this will still fit on over the top. I've even had big outer jackets on and then still been able to put this on over the top. And that's how sort of oversized it is. You can see how baggy it is. But it's, yeah, lovely and cozy. Perfect for sitting around the fire. I think that's everything I've got to run my mouth about. So I'll stop disturbing the neighbours now, let them sleep. I'll probably turn the camera off, shut this blinding light off, get it out of my eyes, and get back to you when I'm getting into bed. Well, my book was good because it's 1 o'clock now. I'm just getting into bed. Feeling very palatial, I must say. What with my raised bed and everything, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully get a good night's sleep. Full shirt acting as a pillow. All snuggled down, although of course this is all fake, because as soon as I've finished here I'm gonna have to get up and turn the camera off. But this is gonna be me. Hopefully we don't get much rain, if it does rain overnight and in the morning. But yeah, I'll see you then. Good night. Not even taking my glasses off, what am I doing? Well, good morning everyone. Time is about 7:30. I first woke up at 6 o'clock and it was raining heavier than this. But it's eased off the drizzle now. I went back to sleep and got another hour and a half, so feeling quite rested. Had a really good night's sleep actually on this cot.
really surprising the difference it made getting raised off the floor. So yeah, really pleased about that. It's getting heavier again, and I was just gonna say, I think I'm gonna get up and try and make myself a drink on the firebox, boil some water for a coffee before the rain gets any heavier as it's forecast to, but looks like I might have missed that opportunity, but I'll throw a coat on and see what I can do here even though it's raining. Let's go one more, just to be safe, you know. Can't have no skimping out on the bacon. Tell me that doesn't just look mouth-watering. Well folks, I think I definitely got lucky with the bacon and an unexpected breakfast. But overall, I had a very good time on this camp out, so I hope you've enjoyed watching. It'll be interesting to see what Max has done with the footage, and maybe he'll stick around and edit some future videos for me. So all I'm going to do here now is sit in the drizzle, drink my coffee, eat my sandwich, and then drag all my stuff that's under the shelter inside to dry, and then I'll leave the tarp up until we get some better weather, so I can put it on the washing line and dry it out properly before putting it away. Got some more camping videos coming soon, hopefully, and as some more normal content back in the shed and elsewhere, fingers crossed. So look forward to showing you that, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.